And without wasting much time, let's hop in straight into the charts. Alright guys, so this is the S&P 500 charts right in front of us, and I want to explain something very important. Before I proceed, I just want to give you all a brief update. Now, the last video that I produced where I spoke about some dates that I expect Bitcoin to pump. Now, what I simply did for each and every one of you who is following me on YouTube, I simply gave you a blueprint on what to expect on those dates and after those dates, because those dates are triggers that would lead us into a phase. And what I need you to understand is that I'm not saying Bitcoin is not going to drop, okay? Because I've been bearish about Bitcoin. I'm not saying Bitcoin is not going to drop. What I'm simply telling you is that on those dates, wherever price or whatever price that Bitcoin is in, expect it to begin showing signs of being bullish. That's what I mean. So even if Bitcoin drops to $100, $1,000, $1, 0 cents, whatever it is, just have it in mind that on those dates, expect signs of life or signs of picking up. Okay, because some of you get confused when you listen. This is why I used to tell people crypto is not for everybody. That's the truth. As sweet as it is, everybody wants to make money, but not everybody is ready to really understand the technicalities involved. And it is these technicalities involved that actually brings the money. So cryptocurrency is not for everybody, and this is why I don't even care. These days I don't even bother about anybody, because I've come to realize that as sweet as this is, but it is not for everybody. That's just the truth. So, and I love to tell myself the truth. Same way I also come out to tell you Bitcoin is going to drop on these dates. When I mention a date and I tell you Bitcoin is going to drop, now that does not mean Bitcoin is not going to pump. Okay, this is what I want you all to understand. But I'm simply telling you that when it gets to these dates, expect it to show signs of weakness and drop from whatever price that it is in. Same thing with the dates I called for a pump. Okay, and I know why I had to pick out those dates for you guys in the future. That's because even if it drops, some of you may get discouraged. Some of you may feel, oh, it's the end. But at the end of the day, when it gets to those dates, it shows signs of signs of strength, and you can actually invest and make money out of it. Same thing with the dates I call when it wants to drop. Okay, you can also make money from those dates. When it shows signs of weakness, you can short it. So all these things are technicalities that I need you all to understand. So don't get confused. Like I said, if you're confused when you follow the crypto prophet, then that means you are not destined to make money from crypto, because my videos are very explanatory. They are self-explanatory, and I take my time to break down and simplify everything for a layman and the commonest man in the society to actually understand. So if you watch my videos and you don't understand, then that means I don't even know how to categorize you. That if, as a matter of, you're a dummy. That's just your own dummy. It's in the blood. It's not something that is it is inside your blood. If you listen to the crypto prophet and you don't understand what he's saying, then that means you cannot be saved from your ignorance. It's as simple as that, because whatever I do is always self-explanatory, and this is why I take my time to make sure I break down and simplify everything so that my viewers can understand exactly what I'm saying. So my message is very, very clear. This is what I want you to understand. We are here for one sole purpose, which is to make money. And also, I want to tell you all this. Whatever I come out to release on YouTube is not the complete package. This is one thing I need you all to understand. I have a premium group. I have a group where you pay to join. So you cannot be expecting me to release a complete package on YouTube. If you're expecting me to do that, then you're a joker. Go out there, look for other channels that do that. I'm not even after subscribers. Okay, I don't even care. So if you unsubscribe out of my channel, I will even be very happy, because I'm ready to work with just few people. People that have the real thing. They don't pursue people. I have the real thing. People are not my problem. I don't pursue people. I don't go after people. This is what I want you all to understand. Okay, so if you know you need the complete package, look for ways and connect with the Crypto Prophet. Do not think what I come here to post is just all there is. I can tell you Bitcoin wants to dump on certain dates, but I will not talk about the pumping. But I can talk about the pump in my official channel. If I tell you Bitcoin wants to pump on a certain date, I may not talk about the dump, but I may talk about the dump in my channel. This is what I need you all to understand. And right now, my general channel is no longer for free. If you pay, you would be added to any of my premium and to my general channel. It is no longer for free. This is why you can never find my channel on Telegram in the public search. Please take note of this. If you are inside any Telegram channel that you typed in your phone and searched and you saw Crypto Prophets, please, that is not me. The only way you can access my channel now is if you pay, you come in. So if you're interested, send an email and get across to Ross. The Crypto Prophet is here to turn you into a millionaire. This is a financial journey we are in. We are not just trading crypto because we want to trade or because we are jobless. No, this is a financial journey. All right, guys. So having said this all, I want us to take a look at the charts of today. I would try to be as brief as possible in this explanation. So now take note of this. This is the chart of the S&P 500. This is the stock market. As a matter of fact, this is the chart of the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq works in hand with the S&P 500. Okay, so now this is the Nasdaq. I want you to focus here, and I also want you to focus on these lines here. We have two lines here, the green line and the red line. Okay, so these are the two sites I would be speaking about. I'll be speaking about this chart here, and I would also be speaking about this line here. And please take notes. Take your jotter, take your pen, take your notebook, note down these dates I'm going to call or speak about, and then we would go to Bitcoin and also check these dates and confirm. I want to show you guys something very important, and this thing I'm about showing you, you will not find it out there. You would only find it with the Crypto Prophets. This explanation, search the whole of YouTube, you won't get it. This is why you need people like the Crypto Prophets. Now let's go, guys. Let me activate these lines. Can you see all these lines here? I want you to take note of these dates. This first line here, take note of these dates. The date is October 18th. Okay? Take note of this other line here. The date is February 14th, 2020. February 14th, 2020. This line here, the date is December 14th, 2020. Now, this line here, the date is April 29th, 2021. And this line here, the date is 14th September 2021. Now, coming over to this date here, the date is 10th January 2022. Okay? Coming over to this green line here, the date is January 18th. January 18th, 2023. Maybe the reason why I mentioned October is because I was born in the month of October. And then coming over to this date here, the last date, it gives us 27th of June 2023. Now guys, I want to talk about something very important. Take note of these dates. I will not come back and repeat myself. You can rewatch the video again and get these dates. So guys, on this date, something very important happened to the stock market, and it also contributed towards Bitcoin's reaction. Now, let me hide these lines. If you take a look at these lines here, you have the green line, you have the red line. Okay? Let's mark this. You have the green line You have the red line, guys. Now, this is something very important I want you to take note of. Now, anytime the green line crosses below the red line, something always happens to the stock markets. Okay, observe here, the green line crossed the red line here. Can you see this? The green line crossed the red line here. Same thing here. The green line crossed the red line towards the downside. Same thing happened here. The green line crossed the red line towards the downside. Same thing happened here. The green line crossed the red line towards the downside. Now, anytime you have this cross, something remarkable always happens. This is what I want you all to understand. Okay, so coming over here, we see here that as of recent, this green line was about crossing this red line, but we had a rejection. This happened on the 14th of March, and the next confirmation was to take place on the 21st of March, which was the FOMC meeting. 21st of March was the FOMC meeting, where Powell came out and spoke about the interest rates. And what Powell did, he still maintained the interest rates. And this is what kept the market stable, because the rates were unchanged. This is what I want you all to understand. And this happened on the 21st of March 2024. Now, this is no coincidence, guys, because I saw it that the stock market was getting ready to crash. But you see, the Fed chairman, Powell, came out to save the stock market and buy little time. You see why the channel of the Crypto Prophet is very unique. What I teach you, you will not find it out there. That's the truth. I have the real thing. You know, look at it. Listen to my words, because you are not going to find this lecture anywhere, I bet you, except from me. Because this is what I'm showing you, and you can't find, you don't even know what I'm using. That's the truth. These things are my calculations. I was expecting the markets, the stock markets to drop based on what was coming. But you see, the president of the president of the FOMC, the SEC, he came out and tried to buy more time. And this is what has actually delayed this disaster that was coming. Let me explain. These dates that I marked earlier stands for something. And what it stands for is the time that this green line crossed this red line. Okay, look at it. I had to mark it. This green line crossed this red line here. The green line crossed the red line here. The green line crossed the red line here. The green line crossed the red line here. Crossed it here. Crossed it here. Here, I'm going to talk about something. This is why I had to color this with green. And the green line crossed the red line here. And we were about having the next cross here on the 14th of March. And some few days later, it was about coming into an effect. But the Fed had to come out and save the stock market, buying little time. So guys, having said all this, let's check for Bitcoin. I need you all to take note of those dates I mentioned. Now guys, when we had this cross in the year 2018, the stock markets had a crash. Look at it. The stock market had a crash. We crashed by roughly 21%. Same thing happened here. When we had this crash, we crashed by roughly 32%. And you know, Bitcoin is a parabolic asset. Bitcoin drops faster and with a much more higher volatility than the normal traditional markets. This is one thing I need you all to understand. So we dropped by more than 30% here. When we had this crash here, this cross here, we actually formed a bearish divergence, and at the end of the day we had it here, but at the end of the day we ended up dropping back to this point, which was around 13%. Very amazing. The next one, the next crossover that we had, we dropped all the way from here, we dropped by 8%. Okay, this was this cross. The next cross that came, guys, this was in the year 2022. This is also what contributed to the crash of 2022. Now we dropped by 35% as well here. And now when we had this cross up towards the upside, this was in the month of January. This is what helped the stock market a bit. And then, guys, we had this cross here, and we dropped by as low as, the stock market dropped by as low as, let's get the percentage. We rallied all the way from here, but it was a bearish divergence, and we dropped all the way from here to here. We dropped by 11%. Can you see this, guys? And now the next one that was coming, Powell did something to save the markets, and we had this rebounds from here, and we ended up not having a cross. This just bought a little time for the stock markets. There is a crash that is looming, that is coming for the stock markets, because we are sure gonna break this red line. Perhaps we are forming something like a bearish divergence. Yeah, I think we are forming a bearish divergence. However the case is, we shall see. But there is a crash that is coming for the stock market. The Fed chairman, he just had to buy a little time by making the rates to be stable. He didn't add anything to it, because he knew that any slight change will crash the stock market, and they don't want this to happen very early. So this is why they had to revoke it. You see, this is why I am called the Crypto Prophet. I bring out facts for you. I work with facts. I don't work with assumptions. I don't work with people's opinion. I work based on facts. And you see, the kind of charts I share with you are not things you're going to find easily. You can't find what I do easily. That's the truth. No matter how you try it, you can ransack the whole of YouTube, ransack the whole of Twitter, ransack the whole of Instagram, ransack the whole social media. You will not find what I show you easily. That's the truth. And this is why I call dates for you. You know, so this is my calculation, and this is what I'm sharing with you all. This video is very, very educative, and I am taking my time so that you would understand and know the particular direction that we are heading to, and exactly what happened. Nothing happens by chance. So guys, having taken note of these dates, let's take note of Bitcoin. Let's see what happened with Bitcoin on these dates. Let's talk about something very important. So this is Bitcoin. Let's get the Bitcoin charts. I want you guys to take note of these dates. Very, very important. Now this is a Bitcoin chart, and remember I called some dates with the stock exchange markets. I spoke about some key dates. I spoke about this particular date at the 14th of September 2021, and I spoke about the 10th of January 2022, and yeah, I marked some dates. So go back and check the beginning part of this video and get those dates that I shared to enable you follow up. But I just want to show you what happened to Bitcoin when the stock market had that cross. Now, when the stock market had that cross in the month of April 2021, something happened to Bitcoin. Look at how Bitcoin dropped. Bitcoin dropped by approximately 53%. Can you see this? Now, the same thing happened when the stock market had that cross again. Bitcoin dropped here by approximately 19%. Now, when the stock market had that cross in the month of January 2022, look at how Bitcoin dropped. Bitcoin dropped all the way from here down by 64%. And guys, when the stock market had that cross towards the upside, Bitcoin actually pumped up. This is why I had to label, or I had to color that particular line with green color. I colored it with green color because when we had that cross towards the upside, Bitcoin had an effect and pumped. And this is why you saw this candlestick being very strong here before we had this decline. This is what I need you all to understand. And now guys, the last crossover that we had a significant reaction for Bitcoin. The last crossover we had for the stock markets, Bitcoin dropped by approximately 13%. Okay, so guys, we were about having another cross again on the 21st of March 2024. But you see, the Fed chairman came out and tried to stop it because he didn't want the stock market to crash very early, because if the stock market crashes, that is really going to be a very big problem. And we saw that in the month of March, we had some notable billionaires selling off their shares. Facebook sold off his shares. Amazon sold off his shares. The owner of Wells Fargo sold off certain shares of his company. So these billionaires sold off their shares. This was because they had the signal that the stock market was about crashing. You can browse about it. This happened in the month of March. Why was it in the month of March? It was because we were about having a crash in the stock markets. And with the calculations of the crypto prophets, I was able to come out with the calculation of this line here, which is what I'm showing you all. This is my calculation. I had to bring this out. You know, this is why you need to follow me. Listen, if you study cryptocurrencies under the crypto prophets, you would be a professional. More than a professional, you would be a genius if you study cryptocurrencies through the crypto prophets. And I show you most of these secrets. You're going to excel. You know, so this is what I need you all to understand. Now, this is my opinion. The stock markets has been given a little time, okay, because we were about having a significant cross, and this cross is unavoidable because this cross is going to come. So what really happened in the last FOMC meeting was simply a postponement. This was why the rates were unchanged. And I want to tell you all this, the Fed is going to begin cutting interest rates in the year 2024. And when this happens, this would crash the stock market. And the stock market is going to have that cross again. And when it has that cross, it is going to crash the stock market, and in a very strong way. And if this happens, a lot of these assets are going to come down because Bitcoin is a very, very, very volatile asset. As a matter of fact, Bitcoin will react more stronger than the stock markets. You can see how the stock market just dropped by 32% and Bitcoin was dropping by almost times 2 of that percentage. So this is what actually makes this very, very serious. So this is why I keep on calling for caution. I call for caution. Now, I'm just sharing this video with you all because I want to help you. I want you to learn. I want you to get educated. I want you to understand exactly where the market is heading to enable you get your minds prepared and stay level-headed. So for those of you who are of the opinion that the market will just keep on going up and up and up and up and up, I have very bad news for you. Because once the Fed begins cutting interest rates, already there is inflation. Inflation has come into Europe. It is coming, as a matter of fact, inflation is already in the United States, you know, but the Fed is just trying to cover it up. But at the long run, it would become obvious. Once that becomes obvious, everything in the market is going to come down. And that is going to be an opportunity of a lifetime to get certain opportunities at a very cheap price. Bitcoin notwithstanding, you would see Bitcoin drop to very low prices that will shock the whole world. So this is what I have come out to explain to you all. As many of you who are interested in listening to me, go ahead and listen to me. For those of you who are not interested, that's your business. So what I'm out here to tell you is that Bitcoin has actually lost momentum. And you see, those dates I mentioned, those are dates that are really going to compensate you. If you follow them, mostly after those dates, you're going to observe certain changes towards the upside. Same way I know dates that are gonna bring out changes towards the downside. So for you to get the complete package and access to the Crypto Profits, look for ways and connect with me. Look for ways and join any of my channels, and you're gonna get the information. So this would be all, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I have just taken my time to explain all this to you to enable you understand what I'm talking about. I hope this information meets you well. So I remain the Crypto Prophets. God bless you. See you in my next video. Thank you.